निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे पाश्चात देशतारिणे जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। आ गए। एक बार एक आदमी ने प्रवचन सुना।
Once upon a time, a person heard a lecture
मनुष्य जीवन के 4 पुरुषार्थ है
about the 4
धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष।
goals of the human life, that is dharma, righteous, calm, this and earth, that is to accumulate wealth, and liberation.
संसार बंधन से मुक्त नहीं हो पाएंगे।
But till the point we are focused on these 4, we won't be able to find or get the highest or achieve the highest goal of our life. That is devotional service towards the Lord. So the most important goal of human life is to get the unalloyed devotional service towards the Lord. And it is mentioned that love is supreme or the best goal of life. So that person, after listening this, went to a Vaishnav Acharya, Ramanujacharya or Madhvacharya. So he said that, please teach me how to love. And he said that I have heard that it is even better to get the unalloyed devotional service or pure loving devotional service towards the Lord, even than liberation or to accumulate wealth, etc. So Madhvacharya asked, have you ever loved anyone in your life? He said, you might have loved someone at least in your life, in your childhood, maybe in your friend. You might have loved your friends, your mother. He said that I'm extremely detached. He said that, have you loved your father? He said, no. He said, have you ever loved a girl? Or so he said that I haven't loved anyone. So Madhvacharya said that you should leave because the eternal nature to love doesn't exist in your body. So if someone has loved anyone in their life, then only they will be able to understand or imbibe the love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if someone loves and if he gets the best person to love, to make their beloved, that is Lord Sri Krishna, then their life becomes all auspicious. So such a person is Bilva Mangala Thakur. Bilva Mangal Thakur had loved. Initially, his love was not towards the Godhead, but he had this nature to love, which is devoid in some people. I have seen in some people that people who have done something in their material life. Example, like if person is well established in business and if he comes in bhakti or devotional service towards the Lord, then he can manage or to preach very well because they already have these qualities in their life imbibed. They have already imbibed those values, so it becomes easier. So Bilva Mangal Thakur also had loved in in his life, but he had loved someone who was not worthy. So in this story, three people have loved. First, Bilva Mangal Thakur, then his wife, and the third, where he used to reside, uh, the prostitute in that village. The pastime is huge, but if I want to tell you in short, so his name was after the leaf that is offered to Lord Shiva, and Mangal also is one of the name of Lord Shiva. And he had the qualities of Lord Shiva also in him. He was extremely knowledgeable, belonged to a Brahmana family. He was wise, learned, intellectual, scholar. Once he went in the village and he saw the dance of a dancer, and after seeing that, he became quite so he saw her and he was amazed and he became attached to her. So gradually he went to her home and gradually he started visiting her again and again, and because of constantly associating with her, he had this lust in his heart, and this lust is such a thing that it can kill the wisdom of the highly intellectual. So he became attached to this prostitute, and initially he used to go in secret, but gradually one day he was asked that why you are late. So he said that I'm stuck. And how can he lie on a daily basis? One day he told that I go to meet this prostitute and I associate with her. And now he started staying with her and he was completely attached to this prostitute. And in those days, Bilvamangal Thakur's mother killed herself. His father died. Now that the father has left his body, he had to perform the cremation and other ceremonies. So the Brahmana said that their own son should do this ceremony, and he was with this prostitute. Now, the body of the dead father is waiting and for cremation, and the son, is in the home of the prostitute. So, what are we supposed to do? So, the wife of Bilvamangal Thakur goes and meet this prostitute. From far, the prostitute, whose name was Chintamani, saw, and she thought that she might be here to abuse me or curse me. But here, the situation was different. Bilva Mangal Thakur's wife, with folded hands, tells this prostitute, "Oh, my sister, I beg you, if my husband is attached with you, I am not worried. I will or I have already tolerated it, but my father-in-law has just left his body, and the Brahmanas are pestering that his son can only perform the last rites. So for 2 hours, please send him with me so that my father-in-law cremation could be performed. And Bilva Mangal said, "Who is there?" So the prostitute said that your wife is here. He said, "I don't want to see her face. Send her back." Sorry.
उन्होंने अपने मन में सोचा कि आज तक मैंने लोगों के ताने सुने थे, आज तक मैंने समाज
So
संसार की गाली
the
सुनी थी,
prostitute's heart changed because she had been cursed and abused by others. But there is this woman who is here requesting me with folded hands to get her own husband back. So Bilva Mangal, who was totally attached to Chintamani the prostitute, she told that Bilva, you should go and perform the last rites of your father. He said that I cannot live without you for even 1 second. So she said that if you love me, then for the sake of my love, you should go and cremate your father. No, he didn't agree on behest of his wife or society, but he agreed on behest of his beloved. And he comes with his wife and performs the last rites of his father. And although he performed all the rites, but his mind was engrossed with how to go back to the prostitute. So without even taking a bath, he wanted to go to meet her. The Mother Earth could not tolerate, the material world could not tolerate. They, they thought that how can we do something to stop him? But he was not the one who will stop. And because of the storm, etc., there was no one who could cross the river for him because she used to stay on the banks of the river. So somehow he crossed the river and went or reached the home of the prostitute. And because the weather was not good, she had closed all the windows and doors of her home. And he constantly knocked, but nobody was opening. And then he saw there is one tree and there was a rope. So he took that rope support and climbed the tree and jumped inside the home. So his body was whole covered with mud. And in that situation, he stood in front of Chintamani, the prostitute. So she said that, how could you come inside? I have closed all the doors. He said that you invited me, you sent a boat for me. She said that, and you left a rope for me. She said, no, I didn't send the boat, nor kept the rope. So the river he crossed was not on the boat, but because of this, because of this shock, his wife had left her body, and he didn't even stop, and he just sat on her body and crossed the river. And I didn't left the rope. There is a snake, and you climbed this snake and you jumped inside. You are so blinded by love or lust towards me that you are so much attached to this body that you have even couldn't realize that it was not the boat but the dead body of your wife, and this rope is not rope, it is a snake. And you don't even realize that on the day of your father's death and performing the last rites, you should take a bath and you should not touch a woman. you sh- you should be ashamed of yourself. You had such a great wife and you left her, and you want to associate with a prostitute like me. So, so much attachment. Had you had this attachment with the Lord, then the Lord would have manifested in front of your eyes. When Chintamani said these last words, Bilva Mangal Thakur was pierced by her words, and he didn't went to his home. He was so much ashamed of himself, and he took the way towards the forest. So I will keep on elaborating it, but in future, Bilva Mangal Thakur became a great exalted devotee of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to read the book that is Krishna, the book written by Bilva Mangal Thakur, which describes the beauty, pastimes, etc. about the Lord. So he had this element of love in him, but that love was diverted towards Krishna by this prostitute Chintamani, and he became one of the greatest devotee of in on this earth. He had sung the glories of Krishna Karnamrit, and what we are going to listen is the one that is Govind Damodar Stotra, that is written by Bilva Mangal Thakur. In 71 verses, he had recited Govind Damodar Stotra, and someone who recites it, then 71 clan of such person achieves the abode of the Lord. So first, let's the Govind Damodar Stotra by Bilva Mangal Thakur we will all sing. So today is a great day. So this So Radhika and the kids wanted to give me something, but they're very shy. So I told them that you should sing with me. So you also are the part of our family. So you all should also participate with us with love.
महामंत्र हो जाए हरे कृष्णा
हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
जय श्री राधा रमण जय जय नवल किशोर जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय जय माखन चोर जय जय माखन चोर। श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। उपस्थित भगवत कथा अनुरागी
Hare Krishna. I welcome all the loving devotees of Shrimad Bhagavatam. I also want to extend my heartfelt welcome to the senior devotees of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness Iskcon. I also welcome all of you who are listening through the medium of Facebook, YouTube, etc. It is all the listeners and a very beautiful Bhagvat Katha's organizer, Sri Mukhamalla Chaparalla family. So the brother and sister have organized this Katha. Vineet Chaparla and his wife Shalini Mata, and from America, Delaware, Nikunj Gopika Mataji and her family, Niharika, Harini, Hemant, Arushi. In last few days, Vineet Ji's and Nikunj Mataji's mother left the world, and in Bhagvat Gita, the first thing is said that whoever has taken the birth is going to die for sure. In this world, we have arrived to go, but on an auspicious day of Dashera or Vijayadashmi, to leave that body on that day and to have the darshan of the Lord while leaving the body, to hear the glories of the Lord and to take the prasadam from Mayapur, Narsimhadev. All these situations tell or reveal that she was not an ordinary person. She had a very auspicious journey, and behind them, their family or their children organize such huge work like organizing a Bhagavatam Katha. So, in the reverie of Srimati Vijaya Krishna, we will be listening to the 344th Bhagavad Katha. First and foremost, I welcome all of you, and please accept our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Radhe Shyam.
जब कीर्तन चल रहा था तो माधुर्य लीला माता, मैं सोचा कि बाहर आ जाएगी।
So while the kirtan was performed, so I was thinking that Madhuri Leela Mata will come inside the screen. So there is a saying that if a person who is well learned and he meets another intellectual, then they talk about education, and if a donkey meets a donkey, then they kick each other. So we don't know Nikunj Gopika Mataji, but we knew Madhuri Leela Mataji, her mother Lalika Mataji, and Radha Krishna Prabhu had a very paternal affection towards us, and it's their mercy that they give us service. So through their medium, we could meet Nikunj Gopika Mataji. And behind that also there is a proclivity which Madhuri Leela Mataji can share. But we have to say that they both are gopis, they're friends, and they both have same mellows, emotions, etc. As you have heard, Sri Vinit Chapralaji and Mukkamalaji, you might have understood that they are from South India. And for your knowledge, in South India or southern part of India, there is a very beautiful temple of the Lord in, in Trivandrum, that is Padmanabham temple. And daily at 4:30, when the darshan for Padmanabh are opened, so till date, the first veneration and touch and darshan is done by the family of Bilvamangal Thakur's family. So from him, there is another Vaishnav lineage which was formed. So as we have Brahma Madhya Karya Sampradaya, then Nityanand Prabhu also had a disciplic succession. Similarly, even Bilvamangal Thakur disciplic succession is going on, and the devotee from that disciplic succession are the one who first venerate the Lord Padmanabh. So the pure devotional service towards the Lord is in South. When I was a child and I used to meet Guru Maharaj, and if a person or a devotee from South India used to come, Guru Maharaj used to get so much zealous and excited. And he said, what is your name, from where? And gradually, as the time elapsed and we started reading the scriptures, we understood that the devotional service actually resides in southern part of the India. So first is so we are on the support system. So we are performing devotional service on support of one another, and we are doing or performing devotional service like that. But in South India, in Padma Puran, it is mentioned that, O Narad, I appeared in the south, and in Karnataka, I. So in Karnataka, I became adult, and Maharashtra, some accepted and others not. And in Gujarat, she, she became very, very less potent. So the devotees don't keep a bodily uh, appearance or understanding, and I see quite a few people after a long time. So I'm seeing Ramesh Bhai after so many days. I just saw him today. And I think that because of Nikunj Mataji, we can see him. When we were in New Jersey, then Ramesh Bhai and their wife had done a great service for us. Govind TV is confused. They are not able to find him. So when I say, then they try to find and figure it out. So I welcome you. Sapna Shah Mataji also is here.
और भी बहुत सारे भक्त आज हमारे बीच में आए. मैं समझ रहा हूँ भारत में लेट नाइट है.
So I understand that it is quite late in India, and I was requested by Govind TV and Abhinaya Prabhu and said that if we if you do the katha in morning, then less people will attend. So this is the time of exam. So when we sweep, then half of the things are swept. So now this is the time of exams. So very beautiful. So this is my nature. I have learned from Guru Maharaj also. Whoever has organized, we try to ask what special that they want to listen something. And they said that even if you don't speak anything, then also it's fine. So what the Govind Damodar Slot we sung is already so, but this is all bonus what we are saying. So I usually ask what they would love or like to hear. And when we discussed with Nikunj Gopika Mataji, she said that with Madhure Lila Mataji, we are just learning to recite Govind Damodar Srot. So let me also learn it along with you. I have also joined this team, and you also should join. And we will listen this Govind Damodar Stotra. This is an indication by the Lord. That is our faith and allegiance. That is what we believe. So we are on so we are on the situation when Bilva Mangal Thakur is speaking this reciting this stotra with all his heart. So Mirabai was famous only in Mewar, and some people like us do some reading about her. Narsingh Mehta was famous in Junagadh.
तो अपने अपने स्टेट अपने अपने राज्य का कुछ अपना फेमस होता है.
Every state has their own famous. Fafra and jalebi should be get in Gujarat. If you go and ask in Punjab, you won't get it. And if you want to eat sambar vada, then you should go to South. Because if Gujaratis make it, it is like puddings. So they eat lot of sugar and sour. So that is how their nature has also evolved.
निकुंज गोपिका माता इडली सांभर मिस कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि आज 17 नवंबर है आज से लगभग 4 साल हो गए
Nikunj Gopika Mataji, we are missing your
इसी प्रकार की कथा का आयोजन
sambar and idli, etc. So 5 years back, there was a program organized by her at her home, and so many devotees arrived, and we got the prasad from her.
तो वहाँ खा पी कर कथा थी यहाँ भूखे पेट खैर सो आइए अब सब्जेक्ट तो आप सब जानते ही हैं
So as you all are aware that in these 7 days we will be trying to listen and understand Bilva Mangal Thakur's Govind Damodar Stotra. So the proclivities flow will be such that we will first try to listen to the glories of Bilva Mangal Thakur, and then we will try to elaborate and in short to try to understand this Govind Damodar Stotra. Usually the katha is not performed on this topic, and there is not much commentary also on this stotra, and some acharyas have only just tried to translate it somewhere, someplace, but here in this katha you will get everything. So it will be the most important katha of your life, because you might have sung it wrong. So I was saying that in each state their own place is things are famous, but this Govind Damodar Stotra is renowned not only in a state, it was compiled by Bilva Mangal Thakur, but if all the Vaishnav Sampradayas accept it, and it is well renowned throughout the world and has been accepted widely. So this is a very glorious scripture, and there in that scripture, this is beautiful stotra, and there are 71 verses. So today is the first day. We had so many formalities. So now let's enter the first verse of Govind Damodar. So the first verse in front of your screen. So these verses can be sung in so many tunes and melodies. You might have sung it. So it can be sung in so many ways. But we will follow what we have started. We will try to take another melody at the time. So the first verse of Sri Govind Damodar Stotra.
अग्रे करुणा मथ पांडवानां दुशासनेन हरितवस्त्रकेशा अग्रे कुरुणां अथ पाण्डवानां दुःशासनेन हतवस्त्रकेशा कृष्णात् तदा क्रोशदनन्यनाथा गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति। एक एक शब्द को मैं यदि आपको, अद्भुत शब्द है भक्त,
all the words are amazing. If I say it again, then might have sung it many times, but the meaning is very, very amazing, because I was praying that let me not focus on just one verse, otherwise the rest will remain as it is. So if we hold this word agre, so we will discuss it later.
तो बिल्वा मंगल ठाकुर प्रारंभ करते हैं कुरुणा।
So Bilva Mangal Thakur starts,
पहले तो इसे समझिए,
Karunam Pandavanam.
मुझे ये बताइए कि कुरुनाम,
So first of all, tell me that why Kuru Nam and Pandava Nam is said. Were Kauravas and Pandavas different? They were in the same family, yet here they said that they are different. So, do you want me to share the history behind it? So, this Kuru Vansh that we say repeatedly, they all belong to the same family or clan. But Duryodhan is mentioned as Kaurav, and Pandavas are called Pandavas because of Pandu. We should. They both are in the family of Kuru, so they should be called as Kauravas. But how? So please try understand. So from Lord Vishnu, Brahmaji, and from there, Atri Muni appeared. Atri had 3 sons, and out of this, there were 1 son, that is Chandrama or moon or Som. So this. So in Shrimad Bhagavatam, there is a pastime that the moon was very beautiful because he was the son of great Rishi Atri and Anasuya Mat. He was very good looking and well mannered, and he was made the king of medicine or Ayurveda. And Goswami Tulsidas ji recites, he was very nice. But when he gets the position or power or wealth, then he loses the control. He was engrossed in entangled pride. When he became the king, he abducted his spiritual master Brihaspati's wife, that is Tara Rani. So he abducted his own spiritual master's wife. And it is mentioned in Shrimad Bhagavatam. And from that, they had a son whose name was Pururva. So Som and Tara had this son whose name was Pururva. Or sorry, Budh. So their son was Budh. And Budh was married to Ila. So there was a king who used to be wife a person, a man in 1 month and the women at 1 month. When he was wife, he used to go outside and he used to roam around in the garden. And Buddha saw him and married, and they begot a son. So Buddha's son was Pururva and his wife was Urvashi, and they had an elder son whose name was Ayu. Ayu had 9 sons, and of these there was one son whose name was Nahush, who was a great king, who was made the king of the heaven by Lord Brahmaji. Nahush had 2 sons, Yati and Yayati. The Yati took celibate. So the younger one was Yayati. And Nahush's son Yayati became the king. So Yayati had 2 wives, Devyani and Sarmishta, and he begot 4 sons from them, 5 sons from them. So you all are aware about the pastimes of Yayati. He told his son that, give me your youth, and he was refused by the elder, the middle, but the youngest of them all, Kuru, agreed. And then Yayati said that my eldest son is Yadu, and this kingdom should be reigned by him, but I will not give it to him. Although you are the youngest, still you will rule and reign because you have fulfilled my desire. So Yayati's eldest son was Yadu, but he was not made the king, and nobody in his family became the king. And Krishna also belongs to that clan or family. He never became a king. So whoever was born in the Puru family became the king. So they had a son, Janmejaya, his son was so on and so forth.
अरी के महाभौम, महाभौम के अनुनाई, अनुनाई के देवती, देवतिथि के अरिहंत.
In this manner, there was this disciplic succession of the son, and from Rishi there was a son Matinar, and from him Tanasu, and from Tanasu Ilin, and Ilin's son was Dushyant. You might be aware of this Dushyant. So this is how he. So he was married to Shakuntala. He was roaming in the forest and he became thirsty and he asked for the water. The sage was not there. The girl came and she offered the water, but he had her heart set on her. So he was a king, so he has no fear. He said that I want to marry you. Who are you? So she said that I am the daughter of Kanva Rishi. He said that it is impossible. I am a Kshatriya or a warrior, and I am 100% sure that my heart will not be set on any other woman who is not a warrior family. So you might not be a Brahmana's daughter. Please tell honestly. So she said that I am the daughter of a Brahmana or a sage. So Shakuntala asked her father that, am I not your daughter? Then Kanva Rishi replied that it is true that I have just brought you up, but you are the daughter of the warrior sage Vishwamitra, who is the whose father was Gadi. So then Dushyant and Shakuntala got married and they had a great son whose name was Bharat. But on his name, our country was named Bharat. And then they had sons. So Bharat's great grandson was Hasti, and from his name the kingdom was named Hastinapur. This is the history and disciplic succession of Hastinapur. And so we are talking about whom? We are talking about Agre Guru Nam. So we are discussing this. So Dushyant and Shakuntala had Bharat as a son, then Bhamanyu, then Suhatra, and then Hasti, after whom the kingdom was named Hastinapur, then Vikunthan, then Ajmit. Ajmir's son was Samvaran, and Samvaran's son was Kuru. So this is the past. This Kuru was great. Although Duryodhan Pandava were born 10th or 11th generation, but still they are called as Kurus because he had worked such a manner. So Ramji also had or belonged to Raghukul family, although the thing Raghu was very, very old in the generation. So our disciplic succession changed into Gauriya because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So King Kuru had performed many yajna of fire sacrifices, and on the place where he did these austerity or yajnas, that place is called as Kurukshetra. This is the place of Kurukshetra, which is mentioned in the opening of Shrimad Bhagvat Katha. So Kuru was a warrior king, and they are not supposed to do farming or plow the field, but he did like Janakji, and he had sons, and they had disciplic succession, and Pradeep's son was Shantanu. Shantanu's first wife, Ganga, from whom he begot Devrat or Bhisham. So, because he didn't marry, so that lineage stopped there. But he was married to Satyavati too. And from her, he begot two sons, Vichitravirya and Chitrangad. So, Chitrangad was killed before he got married, and this younger one was married to two wives, Ambika and Ambalika. And from there, he got Dhritarashtra, and Ambalika Pandu was born. And from the Dasi or the maidservant, Mahatma Vidur was born. So this is the history of Kurus. So here, Bilva Mangal Thakur is saying in this Govind Damodar Sroth, he is indicating that Kuru Naam, the people who got birth in the lineage of Kuru, the Dhritarashtras, who had 100 sons, and they had Duryodhan, Dushasan, etc. as his son. And Pandu was very self-righteous king and pious, and he had 5 sons. So my question is, why Kauravas and Pandavas differentiated, although they both belong to the same lineage? So why they are addressed different? Because in Hastinapur, Pandavas were never considered as the sons of Pandu. That is a bitter truth. Although, to some extent, the thing is right also, because Pandavas were not born by Pandus, but by the touch of demigods with her wife. So thus they were not considered as Pandavas or sons of Pandu. Technically, they were not the sons of Pandu. So Hastinapur never accepted them as the Pandavas, and they were not given the kingdom. And because of this kingdom, there was such a great battle of Mahabharat. And during that Mahabharat, Mama Shakuni, or the maternal uncle, so Duryodhan was a great person, but in association with his maternal uncle Shakuni, he became spoiled, and they cheated in gambling. Pandavas lost their kingdom, their weapons, etc. And finally, they put their own wife in gamble, and they were defeated. And when they were defeated, Duryodhana told his younger son, brother, Dushasan, that you go and bring Draupadi here in this assembly. Dushasan goes and he brings her in the assembly of Kauravas. Now that what I'm trying to say, this agre word, the first word, agre. So you all are aware of the history. But the main point which Bilvamangal Thakur wants to share with us is that Draupadi was tried to be disrobed. Agre means in front of Kauravas and Pandavas. So if we are in a situation where we don't have anyone and we are abused or beaten, then we will tolerate to some extent. But when if someone beats us or distresses us in front of our own people and our people don't react and stay mute, there cannot be a greater distress than that. Therefore, this word agre is quite important here. She was being disrobed. It was not that much distressful for her, but she was being disrobed in front of Kauravas and Pandavas in their presence. It was being done. That was the greatest distress. When people who are ours are not around us and we are distressed, that is something different. But in front of people we love or our beloved, it happens, then it is more distressful. So, in this manner, in front of Kauravas and Pandavas, what happened? So, let's see in the verse, Dushyasanena, by Dushyasan, I don't understand that why these names were kept by his mother or her maternal aunt, or were they named by the history? Yodhan means a person who fights, and dur means bad. So shasan is to rule, but dushasan, person who doesn't rules well, is called dushasan. So can a mother name their son like this? So I just don't understand who kept or named them.
दुर्योधन का छोटा भाई दुशासन जब इस प्रकार से दुर्योधन
So
आदेश दिया
Duryodhana's younger
तो दुशासन
brother
और
Dushasan,
द्रौपदी को
on
लाने के लिए
order of
और
his
अच्छा दुशासन
brother,
ने क्या किया
went to bring Draupadi.
दुशासनेन
And what he did,
वस्त्र केशा
Ritu Vastra
दुशासन
Kesha,
द्रौपदी के पास जाता है
he
कहता है
went
द्रौपदी
to
तुमको सभा
Draupadi
में
and
बुलाया जा रहा है
said that you are being called
उस दिन
in the
द्रौपदी
assembly.
रजस्वला थी
And at that
एक वस्त्र
time,
में थी बाल
Draupadi
नहीं थे
was in
और उसे
a menstrual cycle
बाहर जाने की
and
परमिशन नहीं थी
she was not allowed
तो बोले मैं
to
नहीं आ
go
सकती
out
हूँ
in for 4 5 days. She said that I cannot
मैं नहीं
come.
आ सकती हूँ आना
She
ही
was in
पड़ेगा
one robe and her
तब दुशासन ने
hair were
द्रौपदी के
not tied as
साड़ी
well.
पकड़ी
So
और
at that
द्रौपदी
time,
के बाल पकड़े
Dushasan
दुशासन
catched
ने
her
श्लोक में
from
देख सकते
her
हैं
robe and
रित
her
वस्त्र
hair.
केशा
Rit Vastra Kesha. Vastra
दुशासन
means
के द्वारा
clothes
रीत माने खींचा
and
गया
Kesha means
क्या खींचा गया
hair.
वस्त्र
So Rit means to pull. So he pulled her robe and
श्रीमद्
her
भागवत जी में
hair.
ऐसा वर्णन है
It is
कि जिस
mentioned in
समय
Shrimad
जिस समय
Bhagavatam that that
दुशासन
time
ने
when
द्रौपदी
he
के बालों को खींचा
pulled her
और वस्त्र
hair
को खींचा
and her clothes,
वो
then
दुशासन वो द्रौपदी के बाल और
then
वस्त्र नहीं खींचा जा रहा था
he was not
वो
pulling
कुरु वंश का
the hair
आयुष्य
and
खींचा जा रहा था दुशासन
dress,
द्रौपदी
but
के वस्त्र और बाल नहीं खींच
he
रहा
was
था
pulling
अपने
away
भाग्य को खींच रहा
the
था
fortune
अपनी
or misfortune.
मौत को निमंत्रण दे
He
रहा
was
था
inviting his
दुशासन
own death.
तो आप एक एक शब्द समझ रहे हैं ना अग्रे माने आगे किसके आगे
So Agre means
गुरु
in
नाम
front,
और पांडवा नाम
Gurunam and
कौरव और
Pandavanam.
पांडव
So
के
in
आगे
front of Kauravas
दुशासन
and Pandavas,
हृत वस्त्र
Dushasan
केशा द्रौपदी के
pulled
वस्त्र और
the
बाल
robe
को
and hair of
कुछ इस प्रकार से
Draupadi
खींच रहा था
in this manner.
और उस समय
And at that time,
कृष्णा तदा तदा माने तब
Krishna Tada means at
द्रौपदी
that
को
time.
यहाँ श्लोक में कृष्णा कहा जा रहा
Draupadi
है
is referred or
और ये
addressed
बहुत
as
सुंदर पॉइंट है
Krishna. It is a beautiful
कृष्णा
point here.
कई बार गोविंद दामोदर
Krishna.
स्तोत्र पढ़ने वाले कृष्णा माने भगवान कृष्ण को समझते हैं
Sometimes people
ये
think
कृष्णा
that
नहीं है
this
ये
is Lord
कृष्णा
Krishna.
है
It is not
तो
Krishna,
कृष्णा
but it
का
is
अर्थ यहाँ पे
Krishna.
द्रौपदी है
So
आपकी
here
जानकारी के लिए
Draupadi is being
द्रौपदी का
referred.
एक नाम ही है कृष्णा
Draupadi's one name is Krishna as well.
महाभारत में द्रौपदी
In
का एक
Mahabharat,
नाम कृष्णा है क्यों
she is addressed as Krishna.
द्रौपदी को कृष्णा क्यों कहते
Why?
हैं
Why is she addressed as Krishna?
इसका एक कारण
And
क्योंकि
one reason
द्रौपदी का रंग
is that
कृष्ण
because
जैसा
her
था
complexion is
हमारे
like
भगवान श्री
Krishna.
कृष्ण श्याम वर्ण के हैं ना
So
सो द्रौपदी भी
Lord
कृष्ण
Krishna is
के तरह
dusky,
श्याम वर्ण
and
की
she
थी
also is was
इसलिए
dusky.
द्रौपदी को कृष्णा कहते हैं एक
Therefore, she is
और दूसरी
called
महत्वपूर्ण
Krishna.
बात
Second, a very
द्रौपदी
important
को
point,
कृष्णा क्यों कहते हैं
why she is addressed
क्योंकि
as Krishna?
द्रौपदी कृष्ण
Because
को बहुत प्यारी है
Krishna
है
or Draupadi is
कृष्णा
quite
माने जो
is
कृष्ण
very
की हो
beloved
चुकी है
of
कृष्णा
Lord
माने
Krishna.
जिसको
Krishna
कृष्ण
means a
अपना
person
मान चुके हैं
who had been accepted
द्रौपदी
as
और कृष्णा में
mine
कोई
by
अंतर
Krishna
नहीं
himself. So Krishna and
द्रौपदी को कृष्ण
Krishna
अपना नाम दे
are
चुके हैं
non-different. He
आपकी
has given
जानकारी के लिए
her
कृष्ण
his own
कभी भी
name.
द्रौपदी को संबोधन देते थे ना तो
He,
वो कृष्णा करके ही
Krishna
पुकारते थे
never addressed
भले
Draupadi as
ही
Draupadi, but
द्रौपदी को
always
कृष्ण
referred
कहे ना
or
कहे
addressed as
लेकिन
Krishna.
हमारे भगवान कृष्ण तो द्रौपदी को कृष्णा ही कहते थे इसका
He
अर्थ है
always
जिसने
used to
कृष्ण
address
को
her
खुद
as
बना
Krishna.
दिया अपना
That means
अपना
that
स्वीकार कर लिया है
a person
तो
who
फिर हम
has been
भक्तों के लिए
accepted by
ये
the Lord.
विचारणीय विषय है
So it is a
कि नाम है
topic
द्रौपदी
to
लेकिन
contemplate that
इनको
although her
कृष्णा
name is
इसलिए
Draupadi,
कहते हैं
she
कि
is
ये
referred to
कृष्णा
as
ने इनको
Krishna
स्वीकार कर लिया
because
ये कृष्ण
Krishna
की
has
प्यारी हो
accepted
चुकी ये
and
कृष्ण
she
की प्रिय हो
is
गई
loved,
इसके तीन
a
कारण हैं
favorite of Krishna. And there are three reasons for the same. Why she was the favorite of Lord Krishna? According to Shrimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto, Sujir says that she became favorite of Lord Shri Krishna. First reason is, it is mentioned by Suji in Srimad Bhagavatam. He said that she has one quality, that is to forgive others. In Srimad Bhagavad, you hear Ashwathama beheaded the 5 sons of Draupadi who were sleeping. And when Draupadi saw in the morning, she started crying, vehemently shouting in despair. Arjun took the vow that whoever have killed, I will surrender him at your feet and then you can kill him or behead him. So they catched Ashwathama and then told Draupadi to kill Ashwathama. So Draupadi could have killed, she wouldn't have been sin. He was a person who has killed 5 sons of her, and she was a warrior queen. But she is great that in such a grave situation, and such a grave sinner like Ashwathama was forgiven by her. Arjun said, he had killed your 5 sons. She said that they were supposed to die, so they were killed. And by killing Ashwathama, they will not come back. But if we forgive him, then he will change. And they were discussing, then Bhim came. Bhim said that you should discuss, let me kill him. But Draupadi stopped everyone. She said that I will not allow anyone to kill Ashwathama because he also is a son of someone. If you kill him, his mother will suffer, and I am aware of what that pain that she will suffer because I'm also suffering from the same pain. And what is the fault of the mother of Ashwathama? That is the emotion of a devotee, as mentioned by Narsi Mehta as well. Draupadi thought that he is a grave sinner, but if we kill him, how much his mother will be distressed. So before behaving with others, we see that if whatever I'm saying, if someone says the same thing to me, how much distress I will feel. The behavior that I'm doing, someone does it with me, then how I will feel. So when a person feels like this, then he becomes the favorite of the Lord. And a great Vaishnava is the one who understands the distress of others. So for us, we are only concerned about us, not about others. For our small benefit, even if we, for our small benefit, if others are plundered, we don't care. But a great devotee is the one who understands the problem, emotion, and distress of others. And then he behaves. That is what Draupadi did. And because she forgave, she became favorite of the Lord. In today's world, people keep enmity on small matters, trivial issues. While Draupadi's 5 sons were killed, yet the offender was forgiven by Draupadi. And because of that, Krishna was satisfied with Draupadi. And I'm talking about why she's addressed as Krishna and why she became favorite of Krishna because of this quality of forgiveness. second reason, she was a chaste, pious woman. In the starting of this material universe, the Lord Himself has said that when a couple is married, then the husband's responsibility is to use all his strength to make his wife satisfied and nourished. That is the responsibility of a man by the Lord. And the order for the women was that the women should serve the their husbands as the Lord, and a person who follows this principle, the Lord becomes greatly satisfied in this world. In this world nowadays, one wife cannot satisfy one husband, but Draupadi had 5 husbands, and she was born from the fire. She was pure as fire, yet, and she loved her 5 husbands and satisfied them in such a beautiful manner. She performed her, kept her piety and chastity. And he said that whatever I told in the beginning of the creation, she has followed. That is why Krishna or Lord Shri Krishna was satisfied or happy with her. There is another pastime that in Kurukshetra, when people reached Kurukshetra and there was a lunar eclipse, and Krishna's wife went Rukmani, Satyabhama, Kalindi, etc. Especially Satyabhama went to see or meet Draupadi, and Krishna's wife told that Draupadi, please tell us one thing. You are one and you have 5 husbands, but still you are able to keep them happy and satisfied. We are 16,108 wives, yet we are not able to satisfy Lord Shri Krishna. He cries day and night. You have satisfied 5, and we are not able to satisfy just one. So please, Draupadi, tell me how we should make our husbands satisfied and happy. So in Mahabharat, it is mentioned Satyabhama is. You have any magical powers? How do you control your husband? Our husband is not controlled by us. So, so she said that just tell me how to control. So had I no, I would have told to come to meditation. So first and foremost, Draupadi said, if a woman shares this pastime is better. But the first verse of Draupadi in Mahabharat, she says that a wife who thinks that I want to control my husband, then she goes to hell after death. The question itself is wrong. Say that how to control the husband? No, I have not controlled my husbands, but I have served them, and I have served them so much and so well that they themselves have, are controlled. So I have never tried to control them, but they're so much satisfied that they are controlled. Although I don't desire that. Then the queens of Lord Krishna said, then tell, how do you serve your husband? So 8 points were discussed. So if you have this inquisitive, then I will share it with you. So otherwise, some will appreciate, some will, and some will be unhappy. So what am I supposed to do? So it just signifies that here she's referred to as Krishna. This the one who is loved by the Lord by her qualities of forgiveness and because of her following her religious principle of of chastity. And third, and the most important is she had attached a relationship with Lord Shri Krishna and satisfied him. She had made him her brother. So you should make Krishna your brother. So we
च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। इतना भाव से भक्त बोलते हैं ना तमेव माता, भगवान मूर्ति में से बाहर आ जाते हैं, लिटरली भगवान।
devotees are so much overwhelmed with devotion when they sing that the Lord becomes so much happy and satisfied. And they see the Lord, they say that we don't need you, we need wealth, opulence, job. And the Lord enters the deity again. We are only speaking for the sake of formality. We don't actually feel that. But Draupadi used to have a relationship with Lord Shri Krishna, and she actually in her heart also had this relationship. So she had this relationship with the Lord. So I have learned from Guru Maharaj, and that's what I request the devotees, that we should attach a relationship with the Lord. Whatever emotion you feel, whether paternal, friendship, or conjugal love, or like a brother, like Draupadi. But when you attach a relationship with Krishna, then Krishna becomes ours, and he thinks that we are his or he is ours. So let's rephrase this verse again. So in front of Kauravas and Pandavas, Dushyasana was pulling the robe and hair of Krishna, that is Draupadi. Whose? That is Krishna or Draupadi. So Krishna tada, that means when her hair were pulled, tada means that time. So when, so what Krishna did will come later, but when, so tada means when nobody helped her, even Draupadi had tried her hard. But this tada word is revealing to protect herself from the hands of Dushyasan. She tried hard to protect herself. She addressed Bhishma Pitama, Guru Dronacharya, Dhritarashtra. She went to each and everyone. She went and to take the shelter of her husbands, but nobody helped her. There were 20,000 people in that assembly, Yet, and she was going to each and every one, and she was requesting that please protect me. She was in such a helpless situation. So this is the definition of tada. When she addressed the Lord, she didn't address Krishna, but she addressed the whole society at large when her robes were being pulled. But when she saw that nobody is able to protect me, then she tried to do it by her own endeavor. But when she failed on that as well, then she realized that she cannot protect herself and nobody else is going to help her. Tada means at that point of time in her life, when she realized that no one in this world is mine or our, I have no shelter, and the only shelter I have is of the Lord. So let me share one thing with you. So please use your intelligence here. So you see this word tada. So so she addressed the Lord. When she addressed the Lord, when Dhritarashtra didn't supported her, when Bhishma didn't helped, when husbands didn't supported her, when the society didn't help her, at that point she called the Lord. Had Dhritarashtra helped, then had she called Krishna? Had anybody in the assembly supported her or helped her, then had she called Krishna? No. And if she would have been called Krishna, but the emotion she has at this point wouldn't have been there. So the philosophy is that till the point in this world we have support of others, till that point we won't be able to call or address Lord Shri Krishna. Till the point we have this support of wealth, opulence, car, etc. So till the point we are dependent on that support, till that point we won't be able to address the Lord, and even if we address, that will be without emotion or mood to manifest the Lord. But when we are shelterless and nothing belongs to us, the people of this world are not ours, and when we are helpless, and when we accept Krishna as ours, then and call Krishna, then Krishna will manifest immediately. So it is very important to contemplate. So, so if we have left, if we don't have the support of anyone, then calling Krishna is greater, or to call him with the support of others. So if we take the support of others and call the Lord, he will not come. But if when we leave everyone support and address the Lord, then he will manifest. There are 2 points. If we are forced to or told to leave or detach ourselves, then it will be painful. But if Krishna helps us in that, then how much easier it will be for us. So, so if someone loses their job, wealth, opulence, society, or family, then it is the help of the Lord. It is their mercy. So only an intelligent person can understand. So we are talking about this word tada. So that time she called the Lord. When she was helpless, that is why Surdas ji writes, Dhan, bal, tap bal. That is, dhan means wealth, tap means austerity, and gyan means knowledge. So, till the point we have this thing that we have this opulence, then we won't be able to attain the Lord. But when a person fails or leaves everything, then only a person gets the fruit of Harinam or addressing the Lord. It is not necessary to be victorious in this material world, because the victory makes us proud. And sometimes it is necessary to be defeated. A person who wins, but a person who gets defeated, especially benefited by the Lord. And because a person leaves the society, people, but and if we try to do it on our own, it is very painful. But if they themselves leave us, then it is the Krishna's great mercy. It is not a point of distress. It is the mercy of the Lord. That said, Krishna's words are, O Arjun, if someone performs by unalloyed devotional service, then first of all, I bestow such a mercy on them that they lose all their opulence or wealth. Some of them, half of them are like that. They say that we don't feel like working, or otherwise there is a discord in the society. So then there is no support. So when there is no one, then we have more focus on chanting. So there is no depth in chanting the holy names when we have all the opulence. But when we are detached or we don't have anything, and then we chant the holy names of the Lord, then it is totally different. And that is by the mercy of the Lord. So when there is no support from the society, that time Draupadi called the Lord. And how did she called? Krishna tada kroshat. So if we break it, then Krishna means Draupadi, tada means that time, akroshad means so she started calling the Lord. And how? Akroshad. Akroshad. So at that time she addressed the Lord. Akrosh means or has 7 meanings. So to reach or attain the Lord, these words are the wings for us to fly to the eternal abode of the Lord. So it cannot be explained well in English. So Bilva Mangal Thakur writes, Draupadi called Krishna with akrodhat. So first means is she called him while calling. These are the meanings of grammar. So you should open the dictionary and see the meaning there. So the first meaning is Krishna tada. When she was helpless and nobody was there for her help. At that time, Draupadi Akroshat called the Lord. How? She addressed him crying vehemently. And the second meaning is Abhishap, that is to curse. That you will be punished severely. Third meaning is she was scolding and calling the Lord. The fifth meaning is Draupadi was challenging them. She said, "Oh, people of Hastinapur, what do you know? How would you understand what is the importance of piety or of the women? How would you understand that you don't understand the importance of women's honor, but my brother who resides in the midst of the sea, Dwarika, in Dwarika, the Dwarikadhish understands." And the seventh meaning is she started calling him loudly. So Draupadi addressed Krishna. How? What was the mood? We also call or address the Lord, but we do it like a donkey. What is the mood? That is the most important thing. Krishna tada akroshad ananyanatha. So she was calling him with the mood of Ananya. That means with complete faith in only one Krishna. That means that she just needs only Krishna and no one else. In Bhakti also it is mentioned by Rup Goswami, Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. So nobody, a devotee should never have desire. They don't even need the knowledge or karma or whatever Krishna desires. Srilanam Bhakti Uttama. That is called the perfect, pure loving devotional service toward the Lord. So roaming here and there, taking shelter of someone and the other, then that is, they won't be benefited at all. Ananya Natha. That means she addressed the Lord as He is the only one, and that mood was revealed when she raised both her hands. That is the symbol of taking the shelter of only one, that is the Lord. That is that by raising the hand, it signifies that nobody else is there for me. So we just get tired in half a minute. But we don't even do that. So Draupadi had this feeling and it was manifested. So sometimes people ask that why do you raise both your hands in Iskcon? Because it signifies to take the complete shelter of the Lord, and there is no one else in this world. I have the responsibility of a householder, and I'm taking care of the responsibility of the bodily relationships, but my only shelter is the Lord, Shyam, and no one else. So let's repeat it one more time. So, in front of Kauravas and Pandavas, what happened? Dushasan was pulling the robe and the hair of whom? Krishna, that is Draupadi, and Tada at that time, Krishna or Draupadi addressed her only Lord. And how did she address him? So she addressed Draupadi, she addressed Krishna by raising both her hands, by calling him Govind, Damodar, and Madhav. In 71 verses, Bilva Mangal will say who addressed him with these names. That is what is mentioned in this Stotra. So Draupadi says that now I have no shelter, I'm helpless, and I have no hope, but I have only hope in you. You are my only shelter. And when she addressed Krishna as Govind Damodar, she saw that Krishna has not appeared. Our Lord also comes late like Mumbai police. When Krishna didn't came, then she was anxious. She was now not worried about herself, but she was worried about her own brother. She thought that I have just called him unnecessarily. He might be busy with his wives in Dwarika, and now I have addressed him. And now if he doesn't come,
क्या बिगड़ेगो मुरारी मेरो क्या बिगड़ेगो जाएगी लाज तिहारी जाएगी लाज तिहारी मुरारी मेरो क्या बिगड़ेगो मुरारी मुरारी मुरारी
she says, Oh Murari, I'm not worried about myself, but I'm worried about you. If you see with my eyes, then, oh Krishna, when she addressed the Lord as Govind, Madhav, Damodar, then it was not that Krishna was, the Draupadi was being disrobed, but it was the honor of Krishna that was on the gamble here. Till that point, Krishna was not addressed, he had no tension. But when Krishna was addressed or called, Krishna was in the risk. What will history say? That Krishna didn't protected Draupadi when he was addressed? So she was
तेरो ही आसरो एक मलूक नहीं कोई मन में दूजी जैसी है हे हो मुरारी पुकारी कहूं अब मेरी हंसी नहीं तेरी हंसी है अब तक तो दुनिया के लोग मुझ पर हंसते थे
till the point now people will laugh at me, but when I addressed you like this, now it's not, people will not laugh at me, but at you. You are getting disrobed and dishonored, not me. And as she called Krishna, the Lord manifested.
माधव मदन मुरारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम केशव कलिमलहारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे श्याम श्यामा करुणा कर द्रौपदी पुकारी पट में लिपट गए बनवारी करुणा कर द्रौपदी पुकारी पट में लिपट गए बनवारी निरख रहे नर नारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम निरख रहे नर नारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे श्याम श्यामा माधव मदन मुरारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम। श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, श्री दामोदर भगवान की, श्री माधव भगवान की। इस प्रकार भगवान श्री कृष्ण प्रकट हुए।
Lord Shri Krishna manifested and protected Draupadi's honor. In Gujarati, there is a bhajan. When I used to study in the 3rd grade, I learned it.
श्यामली यानी साथ जो हरि नु भजन करता ये हजी कोई नी लाज जता नथी जानी रे। तो शब्द बहुत सुंदर है कि जेनी सुरता श्यामल यानी साथ, जिसका कृष्ण के साथ
It is said that a person who is in melody with the Lord, who constantly chants the holy names of the Lord, such a devotee of the Lord is never dishonored. Have you ever heard of it? Never.
दुनिया में एक इतिहास तो बताइए कि जिसने हरि का भजन
To
किया,
just tell one person who was called the Lord and who have been dishonored.
को पुकारने वालों की लाज चली जाए, ये सब छोड़ो। हम लोग कृष्ण का थोड़ा बहुत नाम लेते हैं ना,
If we just chant little holy names of the Lord, that also we are just showing it off. Yet we become famous. And we are addressed as Prabhuji and Mataji. We are great. Who used to ask, who are we? Nobody knew us. But by just pretense of devotional service for the Lord, we became famous. And a person who chants the glories of the name of the Lord can never be dishonored. I thought that I will discuss 10 verses today, but I was telling the Lord that I should just not focus on one. It is just like the flow of the river Ganges. Which cannot be controlled. So in this manner, the first verse we have tried to understand. So the time is up. So tomorrow we will try to do as much as we can, and if not, then Nikunj Gopika. Even the Katha has not started, and she said that in Kartik month, give us the date for another Katha. So that first, let's conclude this Katha. Once you realize it, how it goes, she said that no, we need a date. So in this manner, Bilva Mangal compiled or written, Bilva Mangal's this throat we will try to understand and try to imbibe in our life. You all have been listening with so much patience. I'm really thankful to all of you. I especially want to extend my great gratitude towards the inhabitants of Delaware, Nikunj Gopika Mataji and her family, and her brother Vinit Chaprala in the reverie of their mother Vijay Krishna Mataji and all their family members. So let's conclude the session of the day 1 of this Katha with Jai Jaikar.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की